defensive half.
Okay, good news for Liquid is they get double Sentinel comp. They get start on defense though. Liquid on defense, FUT on attack.
And as you can see in the middle of
So
your
they could honestly get
a
like
chance,
8 here.
a very probable one, that we make some more history
They
today.
could definitely get 8 here. They got nothing really to break the trips other than breach damage.
Really shake things up.
And then find out where they are with Prowlers.
Well,
Okay, started off, Gravnet's going in. Nothing to follow this up though.
Players lined up, Liquid looking to try and actively contest that space as FUT continue forward.
Okay, this is interesting. I kind of like the idea of Liquid. It's actually similar to what FUT tried to do on Pearl, right? Where they make it look like they're going aggro, but then they're waiting for the reaction. They did salvos over towards back of B to make it look like we're all close.
But Liquid are already trying to interrupt this. Oh, look at this. Straight in. Players
Damn shots.
Kiko next on the kill feed. Nice combining. The last two
Smoke on the spike, tap, and then swings together. Ooh. Damn, dude, Kiko's hitting some shots. Okay, I like their pistol though. The pistol makes a lot of sense. Been enjoying the Liquid pistols at the moment. We talked about the one on Fracture, right, where they had the wall bait into double salvo. And this was nice. They tried to bait them into fast push over towards B. Two-person hold. Kiko hit some shots.
13 rounds with no defeats as long as they have had both of those Sentinel players on their comfort pick. And I think
the volume up slightly, that should be a bit better.
Liquid's pistol
Do I have Liquid over
always
FUT?
have an idea.
Yes,
they always have something to work with. You think of the Fracture
but they have to steal them up somewhere.
They had a nice little
they have to steal one of these.
With the Vise wall combined with a tail.
Right there.
Okay.
Lots of thought being put into
big
this
investment.
Well, it's Zeus
Everyone's got
on
heavy
this
armor
outlaw
though.
fight. Again, we
So
saw
this
it
ain't gonna
a couple
work,
of
surely.
times against mates. It can be
Unless
a
we're hitting
backbreaker,
heads.
But you need to land both shots against the heavy shielded
What
opponent.
happened there? Didn't even fire the
Serial
second shot.
surviving on 10 HP. And Camo locking down the ace
Yeah, and
space.
that outlaw is just fully committed.
It seems not to be an
They
issue
do pick it
right
up.
now. You can see the intentions with FUT as well. They want to keep fighting. They want to be using this utility to set players up. Krax has found a little space. Imagine to get rid of Camo, but Serial's quick, ready for the trade. Get stuck in the corner. He'll get taken down, and so it's only Mr. Fallen left.
Did feel so weird here in the crowd after yesterday.
As much as they maybe would have liked in this round. Orb towards C.
Whoa.
Other than that, Liquid showing
Already?
how
So
quick
early?
they are to react to any presence put towards A. You look at this composition with Zeus on the Jet, it is so reliant on those openers. But when you have, you know, the Gravnet on cooldown now and all the extra
There's no way. Dude, I thought he was going to manage to get 2 somehow. Okay, he got the armor out of them. They might be in trouble a little bit here, no? 2 of them have to get light armor. They just gave him an outlaw.
A lot, like a chat on Twitter that I saw has with like talking about the deadlock, Gravnet combined with the tail. I know we've seen different ideas of how to combine the tail utility. All in all, though, I was really happy to see Serial get a nice little nice round there as well. He's a player that struggled, but week to week seems to be improving.
My picks for today. I went for Liquid and I went for Vitality.
This time, Sentinels are separated, and it's the first time we see the Cypher setup on A. Paranoia coming out early.
What is that noise? I think the noise is meant to give the casters a heads up that they're going to be listening into the players to stop speaking, I think.
And it's in these mid rounds
I imagine that's
the
the thought process from production.
Maybe struggled to see that proactivity called by Nats, but now we get a look at it, and already cornered towards C, but it's only Serial there.
Straight aggro push.
Make sure he doesn't get
Dude,
caught
Camo
out.
could get a lot here. Gonna open the door. Everyone went for heavy armor though.
And a lot of spam. Serial, he needs to try and hold on. A
Oh
bit
my
of delay
goodness.
For the rest of Team Liquid to
Yeti
get
J was
into possession,
tanking
which they
bullets.
do. Look at the
Dude, they're
barrier
just
mesh
locked
as well,
in.
towards Bend. It's actually
Oops,
cutting
oops,
off any
okay.
players moving into position, so the spike is stuck. They're in the crosshairs of Liquid, and one by one they will be toppled. Crack's finally finding some impact, but he's still got 3 more kills left to find to deny this
Damn, dude,
bonus.
it's really nice on this one.
And so Liquid will
Yeah,
send
that,
it over the line
that
with
extra
some
buy.
comfortability. Exactly,
That extra
with
buy
comfortability, and I think
of
that's
the
the key
outlaw
point.
heavy
Usually on
armor
bonus rounds
really
can get
cost
a
them
little
on
bit
this as
spicy,
well.
but so far Team Liquid
Guns,
have a
lost a
great
lot of the
idea of how they
angels.
want to play this.
Like the idea from Liquid again.
Fallen prey to the
Deaf Guys,
conditioning
thank you so
on
much for
A,
the
with fact that,
Prime. Appreciate the 4
Team
months, bro.
Liquid are
Thank you
being
for doing that.
proactive, fighting that, and then again going and clearing B main, knowing that it's going to be C. And then it's just easy from there, realistically, and I think Serial does really nice to delay on the C site. Something we're going to have to keep tabs on, because
was very nearly exposed there. The barrier mesh
Okay,
was
Ali
working
grabbed that.
overtime.
Sheriff. That is it. They
Taking
honestly
look
could have
at
brought a
this
little
round,
bit more
FUT,
into this
not
one,
with all
but
too much. Again, these defaults heavier towards the C side, and that all spins back to Yetajay. You're going to see him here so often, lots of times without backup, so the fact that there are players by his side could potentially fake the amount of presence if he does just show face.
oh, hold up.
Straight in.
Yeah, he's caught.
Yeah, hold up. That's a lot of util on this one. That's a gun picked up as well. Nats maybe needs to get out of there so they can use Camo's ult. Yeah, I think Nats has to get out of there. Just give him another gun. Camo's ult to go in, and it's kind of all up to after they picked up the gun. Do they even consider it?
That's going to allow Liquid to come flying back through. With the hinder landing onto Mr. Fall, and the salvos will confirm their target. 2 on 2. Only the 1 upgrade on Zeus. He's got to be the man to do it all for them right now. But whether he leads with ACS globally or not.
Ooh, okay, not too bad. They ended up comboing the Waylay ult with the salvos as well. I think small little mistake from Liquid, but they get out. Get out on top. Zero Sands for the tier 1. Appreciate the whole year. Thank you for that, mate, as well.
So we just
Appreciate the whole year. Thanks for the support.
Eco shut down by Liquid as well, and they rack up yet another round on this defender's side. I think it's really important that we focus on what Lohan was saying before the game, and that the map pool feels to be in a good place for them right now. Because
what are you actually meant to do about that?
FUT, they have the highest map win percent of any team
okay,
in the league
FUT
right
might
now
be able to get onto the
67,
board here as well, especially if they won away from Fader. Or keep an eye on that
as
one.
I say before, they're very
Pretty much
with
ahead
this
on the
jet, and so
ults.
again, you go back to a rehearsed opening on A, but it's against that Gravnet once more.
Yeah, and the space taking Camo already deep on towards rubble.
Yeah, realize they're going aggro A. So then they reactively ult over towards A Heavens. Is nice. They have no idea where he is.
Forward, so he's right in the back lines, and still they're searching.
All up top.
Very nice.
Well, it's worked out. Now, FUT, how can they crunch into the remaining player that was in A main, now gone, Serial and Hobbit?
He can still hold the line here as well. There's one more sound sensor up towards stairs, so for the most part, knowing that FUT playing closer towards the site as things stand. Liquid flooding in through the backside, looking to bury a couple bodies on the way. Kiko the first of them, but FUT responding in kind. Zeus helping
unlucky.
support at a captain.
Oh, it's crazy
with
timing.
the player numbers, FUT are starting to look elsewhere. They fire off.
Okay, now it's about damage at the moment from Patsy. He's going to try and take a few of them with him. They got really good money, Liquid, so they can buy next. Might have to be a drop from Camo here, but I like this from FUT. I'm a big fan of when nice kills. I'm a big fan of when teams have a set plan with the Omen ult. I feel like some teams hold on to it too much. I think it's really, really strong. Back over towards A, everyone goes out of position. They take the space while he's doing that as well. They waited to see if they were going aggro A to see if he'd be okay. Most common ults over towards C as well, so the guys on C and stuff have to start looking for him. And maybe on A they're not as aware. Okay, now we get the big rounds.
That's the first time that FUT
4 people from Liquid can't buy. Next.
FUT now have ultimates in which they can
Yeah,
work
and they're kind of in position to just take control again, really ult-wise.
And the Nightfall, really good execute.
This is nice from Liquid. Nats has done an aggro camera, so you can see if anyone disrespects.
FUT shift their focus as well towards this left-hand side of the map between
it's normally
C
to
and
like
B,
get control of numbers or get an idea on numbers, but they only saw one. Over towards A when aggro put wall down and
as you can see, there are 4
oh
Liquid
my
bodies on B, but they can't support Nats, and so he has to give the site up.
like this kill trip though. Oh, and they did the kill trip so low that the Prowler goes over it.
And now the Nightfall invested, doubling down right now.
I mean, look at the disconnect. Mr. Fallen's not even on the scene just yet.
Well, we're even going to get an annihilation.
Big ult.
Liquid, spot on with
Damn,
the
big
ultimates,
ult. This is
spot on
nice.
with the kills.
This is really nice from Liquid, man. Maybe learning from the other round that they want to leave over towards C as well. Kill trip on the floor, Prowler goes over it. They try and take the space with it. Really, really smart. It's Robson. Thanks so much for the prime. Appreciate the 4 months.
Another defender's side. Lotus, a map which, when you
Robson,
go back
thank
and
you
look
for
at it
that,
for
mate.
Liquid in recent
Good to
times,
see you watching.
has presented quite a lot of difficulty for them. I think to the 2 times that they played it in kickoff, from strong signs early on
The
in that
deadlock
lower
stuff, the
round
deadlock
against
stuff's been
Heretics,
good.
to then
I just feel like
arriving
when
at
Liquid,
Masters on the
that's what I
international
was saying.
stage
I think
and
honestly,
not getting any more
and
than
obviously
7
everyone's
rounds
going to say I'm
against both of the
biased
Americas
because they are paying me,
representatives.
but I do think that
It has
Liquid
been
week
in the
by
workshop
week,
for a while, but
like,
this look
are in
seemingly
at least
from
the
player
top
to player
5 of like
fits their
teams that
skill set
cook
exactly.
the most. Like I think you can see week by week
obviously not happy
that
with
they, at least like the
losing
first 4 or 5
5
rounds,
rounds
they
to
always
the
have like really
only
good
one.
stuff.
Calling a stop, looking to talk about
Biased.
things. And I mean, when you look at their composition,
They improved the
they're
fastest.
Really struggling
I do
with
feel
A.
like that,
And when
yeah.
you have a breach, when you have a fade, the utility that they have, you would normally expect for
Lohan
them to thrive,
and Yao have been top
being
5
able to
coaching.
fight
Yeah,
that
I've been
spot.
speaking about the
The
coaching
2 players
staff a
with the
lot.
most kill
I think
impact so
it's
far have been Attacaptain and
you can
Cracks, and they
visually
both
see
had
it
a
very
fantastic
easy.
performance last week out. I think that felt like, you know, a watershed moment for me at least, with Cracks coming under fire a
Hashtag
lot
ad.
over the last year for maybe
Yeah.
not living up to his 2023
Chat, you know me.
performance.
Some like
He's always a player
previous
who previously
Liquids,
you were trading
I
off
would
the
just
back
stay
of
quiet.
him, and I think that's why
This
Zeus
one,
fits
like,
so
I'm
nicely
actually impressed with
into
what
this
they've done.
FUT side with a rifle in his hands rather than an operator. But you've got to be looking at the spacing in these next few rounds, because I think of that C execute that we just saw, and the spike was, you know, well out of harm's way, and there was no one else following up that initial push.
Yampy comes in and says, especially Liquid's assistant coach compared to last year's is incredible. Never miss an opportunity with the bacon flame. Okay, same thing for Liquid. Aggro over towards him, and then we've got the Sonic Sensor as well. But changing up their default a little bit, they're just saying super passive, aggro over towards B, that's it. Smoke trip, trying to get info, camera. I kind of like this as a default. The camera over towards here, this is super strong. I could see teams doing this and having stuff based off of it. Especially as you kind of like gotta commit to shoot it.
Stealth Drone does look to be the catalyst for this B main fight. Engage onto Yetijay, but FUT are starting to take things elsewhere, bypassing the sound sensor. It's a quick skip and a hop from Zeus.
Okay, and there's been pressure over towards B, so they should consider that
pressure already put on,
they
and now
want to
players
split
out
B.
in grass. There is a potential for a B split here, so Serial left alone in another isolated position could very quickly come under fire if he's not supported by a Liquid reaction.
Allows the cross towards Hobbit. There is a
Dude,
sound
Camo
sensor to work
is
with, and it will
absolutely sending it.
Buying some time. Camo's
Oh my god, he's absolutely sending it. Dude, the Sonic Sensor as well. I gotta give a lot of praise from Serial on this one. This was nice from them, dudes. He realized his pressure over towards B. He put his Sonic Sensor late over towards Hobbit.
Serial so isolated as the B
And then
anchor,
Camo
but the sound sensor
just sent
does
it
fantastic work.
through the
Again,
smoke,
we're
got 2 off
commending
the
him
Sonic
for his
Sensor stun.
utility, a player who had
And they did a
picked up
deeper
half of
smoke
the field
to make
and
sure he's
was
blocked
showing
from
us
some angles.
career first in terms of agent pool. Stepping into this roster, and so Camo and the rest will clean up. The threat was there, but it was an empty one.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fact that we've got towards.
That was good from Serial, really good.
Hobbit's really been poked and prodded towards. Finding out what the utility looks like towards this A
Going
side, and
aggro
rather
A
than
again.
placing just the barrier
Sonic
mesh right now,
Sensor,
you can
still
see
no
Team
wall
Liquid
this time.
looking to hang around.
That's the
Because
difference.
FUT tried to
Later
re-engage
wall.
after the first fight last time.
We actually have a double sensor here as well, so if Zeus goes for that same dash, there's a chance he could get
Nice
caught
chance.
in the next. Not unless Camo could
Yeah,
open
definitely
up the
could be
play
tempted to
once
wall
more.
out here, yeah.
11 and 7
Same
for
camera
first
again, but now
duels
this guy's
in the
isolated.
previous series.
And
A stat which
you
he's
do
already
have
added
a
to
smoke if Kiko
massively.
wants to do it. There it is.
Patitech will be cornered. The smoke should provide
only
a
took
safe
one
passage
bullet.
for escape. So FUT back to square one. with
Yeah,
Sheriffs
and
in
at the
their
moment,
hands.
Liquid have full info over towards A, and
Unable
they
to
don't
get
have to
past
worry
that
about it.
first line of
Surely
defense.
these guys have to break this wall.
Yeah,
Are they just going to
still
wait it
hanging
out?
around in B main. No, this is similar to what the last round is, so you can maybe see Team Liquid starting to worry about that, but they don't
I
need
like
to,
this as well,
because
right?
Serial's
Patty was
got
seen in the
an
corner,
eye on A
and then he
main.
goes over
Now,
towards here, so if they see him
slowly
faster,
starting to
they're
head
not going to
towards
check the
that
corner.
C-side.
Like the
This
big
is where
bait in
Cypher
terms of the
setup
agents
is.
getting called.
Trap if needed. Cam playing Overwatch.
Camo in a
Paranoia
good spot as well
in the
to ult if he
hands
needs
of
to.
Kiko. This one should be as safe as ever if you're Liquid. Extra utility thrown in just to confirm it. Little
Mate, they look
laboured
really good.
from Kiko. But
They
Liquid
look really good.
letting loose and hauling it over the line once again.
Another end zone flawless as well. We're starting to add these together. FUT looking to really struggle on their own map pick as well.
You can see how vocal Nats is becoming after every passing round, feeling as if he's playing around with FUT, toying with them. You look at this map being their pick.
And I think as well with this map in particular that they've picked into, we've seen them struggle on it before, but let's look towards the A side
do you not feel
once
like
again.
FUT need to try and do an aggro A at one
FUT are
point?
going for a particularly
They
quick
feel like they
opening
can't.
here, as the utility by itself is just commanding that respect, at least for another 40
They can
seconds.
TP across, dash across. Okay, late
finally
take of
invest
A
back
with
in, but it's a
Armor
deeper line
Flash
that Liquid have
committed. As
already
we can see
taken.
Liquid going for some kind of punish of the ults right now. Not entirely sure why.
It's
No one's
another
close to an
try.
orb.
Yeah, exactly.
An
And
ult.
there's going to be no escape. Usually players can try and jump out, but with the Whaley ultimate, you won't be able to do that. The cam for contact, everything looks perfect for Team Liquid.
To just bounce off what you
Okay,
said before,
silent
I
drone
mean,
coming
FUT
in to get
had
info with
built
the
on that
war.
overtime win against Koi, the
This
huge
is nice
comeback,
though that they
but
still
they struggled on the attack side
Ooh,
massively.
they
with a more
open the
resounding result
door.
against
They have
Mates.
Sonic Sensor, so even
But there are
though
overbearing
FUT think
issues
they've
here,
created a
and you're
question
starting to
mark
walk
over
into
towards
another one.
A,
A trap play
unless there's
prepared
someone
from minute
silently
one.
sitting here,
Camo holding onto the waylay ult. As soon as that cam hits
they
a
might get
player,
a
they're
relatively
gonna pull
fast
the pin.
retake. Camo goes for the ult. Dude, they hit a lot. The only problem is there's no smoke here. They should both get out.
And
they do. Dude, this is nice, man. What the hell's going on? They look incredible. So
The
good.
spacing
It's
of
a
the
really
ults
good
has been
pivot from
brilliant
FUT on
from
this.
Liquid. They do still have Kikos left here if you perhaps wanted to go check what the post-plant positions look like on B, but FUT are walking into an empty site. Liquid happy to give this one away, play with the numbers, and trade effectively. FUT need to take space if they want to give themselves any chance at recovering this.
Perhaps get one back in their favour.
You can't play on the site.
There's loads of players.
They tried to
that
do the
are
little bait
elsewhere.
thing for info.
Isolated Camo, though,
He dashes
isolates one
out,
onto
dashes back
Mr.
in to
Fallen
get question
and
marks
gets
on the
him
minimap
up
to
onto
see where they
back
are
to
as well.
captain.
Oh
Team
my
Liquid
goodness.
are making this advantage grow
This was
round
such a
on
nice
round.
round from them. Oh my god, I'm really impressed right now.
As I mentioned, while there are issues with the bigger picture, you look at the finer details as well. Even that situation, FUT locked in place.
Yeah.
And
when
they
it came
omen
down to
TP
post. This
so
was
they
a
can
nice
always get a
aggressive move
trade
from
off of
Liquid.
it.
And another benefit
And
to
then they can both get out.
FUT not having any tape on their opponent when they're a team which, you know, like their
And this
opponent,
guy came up on the
like to
minimap because of the
feel out
dash
what the
there,
setup
dash
looks
back.
like.
And I really love the way that Team Liquid engage and disengage as well, using the Whaley, using
Well,
the
I'm the
Omen
new
to
GOAT
get out.
coach.
Camo
Definitely
case in
both
point,
of them
yeah,
have to
speed.
be when you talk about the coaching stuff, I think
The
you
A
have to talk about
conversation.
both of them, honestly. I've seen some of
It
the
is
stuff that
more of a
Yaltsin
monologue.
has. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I was
Liquid
okay, I
hogging
was
the
talking about
mic in the
Vice
karaoke bar
on
as
Ascent,
FUT
and then he
have been
sent
silent so
this is
far.
gonna
Just
sound
the
like a
one
meme,
round which they were
and
able to
then
pick up wasn't
and then
a
he
play.
sent me
That
like
was
a
dropping in behind with that to
83
captain,
page
but he goes
thing
down
that he
on
did
this
on
occasion.
Vice on
So
Ascent.
Serial continuing to add
And I'm not
to
even
the
sure they
Liquid first blood
use
counter.
Vice on
I
Ascent.
have an idea that Serial has escaped
He had
into
some
the
good
lost ball,
stuff.
but no
Like
more
really good
smokes
stuff, to be
though, so
fair.
crossing
Like he's a
through
super
these
geek.
angles is going to make things even more worrying. 3 players seen on the drone. While they don't get suppressed, Liquid now know
Who?
actionable
Yaltsin,
intel.
the
And
assistant
that's why
coach
you're
for
starting
Liquid.
to see Kiko move towards the A side of the map.
Also brings up another prior concern that FUT haven't really been
It's an
able to
essay
scale
just for
very
fun.
effectively at
Yeah,
all.
I said that honestly. If he ever like
Liquid
stops doing the
conditioning so
coaching
much of
stuff,
this
that
space, and as you
we
can
would
see,
honestly just
Serial
buy
has a
like some of
signature
the
backup, the grav net in his hand.
guides for coach potatoes. I think
It's
like
gonna be a direct
there's a
aim
lot of it that's like
execution, which we
super
look for.
situational.
Zeus,
I would
so
say
many
probably like
times
half of it's
reliant for
situational.
FUT to
There's
come up
loads
with
of
the
stuff you
goods,
could
and
do
he'll
with
finally deliver,
comms.
but it's only one.
It's only one, and Kiko straight back in, and Team Liquid holding on to the advantage.
Did it have the
Patty
location of
close
Ascent?
by,
It didn't,
foot
so
stuck towards
obviously
the
not as
front
good.
of sight, stunned up. Kiko can't make good of his chance. Can Patty? No, he can't. Now, Serial into the mix, trying to find something.
Damn, the little bait came in as well. God, they're good, man. Fair play, dudes. They had a really rough Lotus as well, so this was one of the question marks about this team.
As well. FUT caught across the jaw, but not for the first time. That situation where they had a man advantage, but oh so quickly you overlook that position and immediately they get punished for it. Seemed like decent work to start things off. I mean, Zeus had opened up the site for them. They lacked this control, and if you didn't see it the first couple of times, it's
Yeah, it's a good little
Nats
distraction
with
on
the
this.
silent drop
Dude,
when the
all of
attention
them
is bought
looking.
by Serial. Between these two Sentinels, they've been doing everything.
Mr. Fallen and
No, I agree,
now
Saint.
getting close to their own
But don't you
ultimate,
find it
so
mad
getting
that
towards
FUT
that
aren't like
latter
doing
stage
this every
of the
single
first
round?
half where they're gonna
Like they have to do
realistically
this.
need to be used now or in the next
Like this is
round.
for sure the best chance FUT have had it a round in a while, just purely because they have to go aggro. Eh?
Oh, Camel's not done.
Just
Huge
straight
kill
up
for him
swing
because
with the
refractor's
drone, maybe
back
when their
up, so if he
pre-aim's
wants
going to be a
keep
little bit
getting
lower.
aggressive, he can. Instead, Liquid
Ooh,
are
okay.
having
I was going to say,
bodies
not sure about
drop
this
on their
one, but
doorstep, still warm.
he gets out.
As
They did
Krax
give
has
him away
managed
back
to
in here, but at least
loosen
they double
Pathetic's
swung
grip
to give
on
up.
the A site hold. It's onto Camo to do it all.
At least
Yeah, I think they
chased
messed
something
up
there.
here,
It's not
but
going to work out. This is a 2v2 though.
this is like one of
That's a
those
rifle
rounds where everyone's
upgrade.
looking a
This is
little
not
bit too
looking good.
confident.
And both initiators have their ultimates,
Everyone's
so if you
looking
want to respond
kinda
to any initial
confident.
contact, you could. It's Nats again.
nice, nice recovery though. Still here.
Benno,
Benno, thanks so much for the tier 1. Appreciate the 4 months. And we got Amanx as well. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate the gifted.
Every time, man. But it's not only that. It's the old guard from last year coming up.
The
when
Jet,
it's
yeah, that is
needed,
true.
Right?
That is true.
I mean, they've been the highest performers on average on this roster.
Something that Liquid have been thinking about a lot, those long-term ambitions. This win, of course, a big step towards the top of the group, and bad news for BBL in the process. But it's a team that we haven't seen make back-to-back internationals since Champs 2023, last year an absentee. So now the final round of the half has 8 ultimates. I'd like to see the analyst Dash try and break this one down. It could get chaotic.
This is the time where we get to mention
Okay,
Kedro.
another free A control.
Job.
Dude, look at Liquid heavy
Although
expecting
Team Liquid have went
some
and
kind of
cleared
B
out B
pressure.
main, being proactive. They've done this the past couple of rounds. We saw them get a pick in the last one.
Nice little change run
Last
from
time
them.
round,
Is this
they've
the
just
camera
poked
that's
their
like
head out,
really high up
cleared
that you
it,
can't see it until you get to
scaled
these
all the way
areas?
up on A in the
Ooh,
meantime.
okay. It can be a
Look
little
at the
better.
setup. It is traps
But maybe
towards
they want the
backside,
early info
so
from them
Nats
going
is
in.
ready for these duels. Beyond the cage, he's dropped in and spotted.
Still
Zeus
got double
knows
kill
about
trip.
it. It's about to go down.
Boy, that tail's kind
This
of
is a
nice. Gives
really
him a
nice
lot of
arcade, and
space.
it's just bot space. There's so much utility back and forward.
Voice
And
line
it's
after
bot.
voice line.
Yeah.
Spike down A.
But it's Liquid when the dust settles that pick up all the pieces. They've managed to deny all that space.
They're gonna
from
hit the
FUT.
sonic
I mean, it was the
sensor.
Armageddon which has done the heavy lifting.
There's
and so
another
back to
sonic
B they go.
sensor
It's
to give
another
them info if they
4v2.
actually
This
take the
time,
control of
I
here
wanna
as
see them
well. All
take some
goes
ground.
in, they
You
pick
can't
up the
sit
spike.
idle, or
There's a
Liquid
lot
will
of
make
people
this
here
11.
early. Drone
But
goes in, they
UTG's
still got a stun if they want
walking
it.
towards heaven. At the same time, Camel's walked in towards Waterfall.
Do they wait for the salvos,
one
maybe?
versus one
I
in
have
that
no idea
position.
how long they've got.
Atta Captain needs to do something here to give FUT any kind of a platform. The infallible form
Yeah,
that they
salvos go
previously
in.
posted.
The
is
main
looking
areas
like
force
a
them out to the
completely different
open.
conversation
Super
today. Atta
doable.
Captain, first of those kills. Yetiger in support, but it's Serial at the death.
Fair play, dude. It's a
As
really
he
good
starts
defense.
to write out
Really
FUT's
good defense
own
off.
obituary.
They had a lot of
11
nice stuff.
in one half, taking their total in the last couple sky high.
Spike down A.
The deadlock stuff was good as well. A lot of times we see deadlock stuff, I don't think it's that great. It was double sentinel though, so you would expect to get a high score like this, but again, 11 is so much. Liquid looking good or is FUT looking bad? I think that FUT needed to take A control more at the beginning, personally. And I think they struggled a little bit against the deadlock, but other than that, I thought Liquid did a lot of good stuff. Like if you look at even just a lot of their little micro stuff they're doing, it was really cool. Why there's so many blowout maps this year, even on teams map picks, it's still just a lot of the time it's like a week is a long time, right? So say that you have a week, say that. Okay, let's just use this as an example, right? Liquid, rough map pull after Bangkok, right? They had Lotus, they had Pearl. So at one point, you know one of these maps is getting picked. So that means you can ban one, but then you've got to heavy practice this one. And so FUT then end up picking this map, which we haven't seen for a long time. Like this is the first time they show this comp. And obviously Liquid's been able to practice this for like, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even longer. We don't know how long they've had this actually cooked
Second
up.
Half, something that you
And
and I
then-
seem to have gotten used to.
and then 'cause
Couple
you're
of
picking the
12-0s and now
actual
an
map.
11-1. But if you think
you end
back,
up
one of those
having
was
to
literally
play
the
on
last
attack
map that
majority of
Liquid
the time.
played.
You
They
at least
won
get a map
23
selection.
out of their
But then if you
last
wanted to do a
24
double deadlock comp like
defender-sided
this,
rounds.
it
This
becomes a
double
little bit of a
Sentinel
trap.
has been such a good look, but for
Especially
FUT,
if you have
on
good
their own
full
map
process,
pick, so
full
much
process
work to be
behind it.
done to recover this.
One thing to note was when Team Liquid moved on
Like
to the
again, I'm
attack,
a
when they
firm
played
believer
double
that
Sentinel on
if
Ascent,
you
they were
have
only
a
able to
comp
win 20%
that makes a
of
lot of
rounds, right? They
sense,
struggled on their attack.
like it doesn't have too many
Can
flaws,
they make good of that this
and
time round?
you have
Surely
good
they'll
theory
have to play a
behind it,
couple
like
right
really
to
good theory,
finish out the
first
map.
time you show it,
Get
you
the
should be
idea.
beating any team. Otherwise, in my opinion, the
Zeus
theory
will
is
have
wrong.
to siphon powers from the
Or like
skies
your stuff's not
above,
good
and
enough.
It starts in the worst way possible instead.
Jesus. Oh god,
As the
man.
electricity flows
Give him
through
a
his
chance
veins,
what's going on this map.
taking all power
Holy
for
camo.
himself. It's a 4-kill opener with Serial shutting it down. The pistol over in an instant as it's an in-zone flawless.
It seems like Team
believe
Liquid
in
week
Na'Vi
to week
making
are getting
playoffs after
stronger and
yesterday?
stronger, and I think
It's gonna be
embodied
close. It's
by
gonna be close.
Camo now stepping up to the plate.
They should do.
22
But it might
and
just be
6.
4.
An absolute madness in the opening round.
Okay,
FUT,
11
well, they're gonna
chances.
try and
FUT
bring out
have
a couple
to
of stingers,
force into this
heavy
one,
shields,
obviously.
something to work
Outlaw
with
comes out,
in this
3 people that can
potential
one-shot.
last round. Look at this A fight. and
Grab
the
net
amount
off
of
the
bodies
wall in
there.
case you want to go aggro here, or is
No
it just
point
a floor
saving
one?
any credits. Camo
It's
right
floor.
out the gate. Another kill added to the tally.
Jesus,
Heads
gets
starting
the
to
damage
roll
done as well. They know that Kiko's
as
out here.
FUT have fallen well short of the
They
mark
should
here.
have. He got fair-eyed.
They trail in players, in rounds, in bloody everything right now.
On the defense, where do you even try and go, right? Where do you even try
Dude,
and find something
Nats
back
is waiting in
conversation?
spawn with an outlaw.
Looks like it might be into the outlaw. Mr. Fallen, at the very least, has the cam towards
This is a
C,
patch I
and
guarantee.
also the
Nah, I
trap
went for
wire
Liquid
to
on
play
this.
off. So there is information towards the other side of the map. If you have any
I'll go
hope
for Liquid a
of
fair
FUT
amount of
finding
times, I
this one,
think.
it is
They
coming
have,
from a hero
they're really good
play,
in the,
and
like, in the
as
week.
Mr. Fallen gets his fault
in the
line
week
back
prep,
up, it's
they're
a
really
full
good.
utility belt to try and challenge. Can't wait for Yetajay. Has to take matters into his own hands, the captain.
Up close and personal. Camo was
Doable.
already low. Disengages to get the reload off. As the players walk forward, they'll collect another. The last player remains for FUT. It's Yetajay.
Coming back from Masters, Liquid, having played more rounds than any other team in the region, only just shy of the 2 finalists from Bangkok. But as that development process continues, it seems like they found
Well,
another
that was an
winner.
absolute stomp. They had some nice stuff though. They were super prepped with this.
As Liquid look to
Really
return
nice.
to form with a very
fast one,
clean
chat. 27
performance.
minutes on this.
Extremely clean. Has a